everyone, welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to show you guys how you can make your very own essential oil roller. Now in here I've actually got lavender blooms. They're lavender that I dried from my yard. I've also got my lavender essential oil in here, which I have diluted with some sweet almond oil. Now the thing is, if you do use essential oils and you have very sensitive skin, those oils can do some damage sometimes because they are very potent. So you are going to need to dilute it with another oil so it'll be a little bit safer for you. Do not try and dilute essential oils with water because water and oil do not mix. So you definitely want to make sure you have thinning oil available to you. So this is what I've got so far that I've made, and I'm going to show you guys how you can make your own like this. You can make perfume bottles the same way. It just works amazingly well. So first thing we're going to talk about is some containers that you might want to use. I've got this one here that I found at the dollar store. Came in a kit. So a lot of them came in it, and it's got this cute little cork top, which I thought was adorable. I could fill this up with blooms if I want to, maybe little flower petals, things like that. I can also put a little bow at the top of that if I want to. And this is just kind of a cute little adorable jar that will work for making essential oil medicines, tinctures, perfumes, things like that with if you want to. This is one I also found at the dollar store. It comes with a nice little cap. These are very, very handy to use. They come in 2 different sizes, at least so far that I've seen. So those are also available. You can also buy some other materials like this one. This would probably be better to use for your blooms or your flower petals, things like that. You can also make a solid perfume bar and stick that in there and then decorate the very top of it with your flower petals and dried flowers, and that would work out perfectly as well. Now I did find this at the dollar store. You can get several of them in a kit for $1. This is great if you are mixing up a bunch of oils together. Has a nice little top. These are easy to wash and clean and reuse, so that is something else you can consider. And then here I've got my oil roller, which we are going to be using today in this video. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that roller right off the very tops, and that's how you can fill that up. I'm going to go ahead and set these aside. Now you can also use a container like this. This works really handy, especially for essential oils where you are going to only need a few drops of essential oil along with your thinning oil agent. So alright, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Now these are the lavender blooms that I've already got dried. Now thing is, you can if you want to. This one's kind of a little crooked. I wish some of them were straighter, but not all of them can be like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull some of those blooms right off and stick them in my container right here. And you can just go ahead and kind of pull them in the opposite direction of how they grow, and that will kind of snag it a little bit, and you can pull all the blooms off just like so. Now I'm going to just go ahead and take just a few of those blooms. Now add a very small amount to the very bottom of my oil roller jar. That's going to help decorate the very bottom, and it will kind of give a little bit of texture or a look to it as they will kind of float in and out of the bottle or up and down. So that's kind of cool about this one. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. I'm going to look for the bloom that has the straightest look to it. I think this one does. It's got a little bit of a curve, that will be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just clip this off at the very bottom. Kind of crush those blooms back into my container. Set these aside. I'm going to see if this will all fit in my jar, and it won't all fit, so I'm going to go ahead, take off just a little bit of that, and see if I can get everything all in there. I want the top to be nice and skinny, and the bottom down here to be nice and fat and full. We're going to go ahead and try that. Stick it inside my jar, my container, and it just barely comes to the very top. I'm really happy with how that looks. It's not quite as full as some of the others might be, but this will be just fine for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and set these aside. Take my blooms and scoop them over. Alright, I'm going to set that aside. Now, I've got this container that I decided would work perfect for all of these flowers. I can just go ahead and dunk them in there. And that will work perfect for storing them for later on. I can use this anytime I want to. Like I said, I can put this in the other containers, and this will make a wonderful decoration in those other bottles. Alright, so now that I've got that set aside, maybe I'll just add the remainder in there. There we go. Okay. Now I've got my container that I can add my essential oils to. I've already got some sweet almond oil right here. This is going to be my diluting agent right there. I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of that oil right in the bottom here. And I am going to grab some of my lavender essential oil. Now you want to make sure that you can get your essential oils into dark bottles, because that will help protect it from rays and violet lights and all that great stuff. It will definitely help preserve your oil, make it last longer. So if you are using clear glass containers like this, make sure you put them in a very dark place. That will help preserve them a lot longer. I'm only going to need just a few drops. And I don't think this wants to drop out like I want it to, so whoop, sending things flying. Did you see that? So I'm going to just go ahead and add a little bit of that essential oil in there. I'm going to mix this around. And this is very, very, very strong smelling. I can already smell it. It's pretty intense. But I just love that smell. It's wonderful. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and set my essential oil aside. I want to make sure my top is on there nice and good. So that way, that will hold up what I need it to. Now I'm going to go ahead and very, very carefully with one of these other jars, because this works perfectly for adding in other oils if I need to other things. I can just use my dropper and it's ready to go. Alright, I can go ahead and kind of put the cap on that, swirl it around a little bit, and that is going to be my diluted almond oil and my essential oil. So I'm really happy with how that smells so far. Now all I need to do is just gently fill up my bottle. It does take a little bit of time. Sometimes if you can find a funnel or something like that, that tends to help too. But I kind of like using a dropper. I can better gauge how much oil I'm putting in there. Just going to go ahead and continue filling this right up. And this will work really great if you have problems sleeping or have anxiety, things like that. You can actually use this roller on the road. So you can just roll that onto your skin, use it, smell it. It will maybe help you be able to sleep a little bit better. It's just a wonderful thing to have around. And it can also be used on burns and things like that. So there we've got all that oil filled up in the very top. I'm going to go ahead and push the cap down on that oil roller. So there you can see the roller ball. And there you have it. That is how you can make your very own perfume roller bottle. You can use it as a perfume, or you can use it as an ointment as needed. But yeah, this is how you create your very own essential oil roller bottle. Again, if you like this video, come back for more adventures and great tips later on. Bye now.